Yes.
Yeah, please start.
Good morning, everyone. I'm
Good
Vaishnavi
morning.
S. Today, I'm going to present on brushless DC motor. The outline of presentation is Introduction to BLDC motor, construction of BLDC motor, working of BLDC motor, applications, advantages, and disadvantages. Introduction. The stator consists of several coils through which current is led, creating a magnetic field that makes the rotor turn. Motors are also known as electronically committed motors, are synchronous motors powered by a DC source via an integrated inverter power supply, which produces an AC signal to drive the motor. Moving to the construction of BLDC motors, BLDC motors have many similarities to AC induction motors and brush DC motors in terms of construction and working principles. The parts of brushless DC motors are stator and rotor. A stator is made up of silicon steel stamping with slots. The slots are accommodated armature windings. The winding is wound with specified number of poles. The winding connected to DC supply through power electronic switching circuits. Rotor. A rotor is a permanent magnet. Number of poles on a rotor is as same as of the stator. Rotor shaft carries a rotor position sensor and provides information about the position of the shaft at any instant to the controller, which sends signal to the electronic commutator. Moving towards the working of BLDC motor, the rotor and the stator of BLDC motor as shown in the figure. Rotor of a BLDC motor is permanent magnet. The stator and is illustrated. The rotor has three coils named A, B, and C. The operation of a BLDC is based on a simple force interaction between the permanent magnet and the electromagnet. In this condition, when a coil A is energized, the opposite poles of the rotor are attracted to each other. As the rotor nears the coil A, coil B gets energized. As the rotor nears the coil B, coil C get energized. After that, coil A is energized with the opposite polarity. This process is repeated and the motor continues to rotate. A feature of this BLDC motor is that the torque will reduce as the speed increases. The rotating magnet will generate a back EMF in the coil which is approaching. This back EMF will be proportional to the speed of the rotation and will reduce the current flowing in the coil. The reduced current will reduce the magnetic strength, hence the torque. The DC current required in each coil is shown in the graph. The applications of BLDC motors are the consumer level applications are hard drives, CD drives, DVD drives, PC, cooling fans, toys. The medical level applications are artificial hearts and dental surgical tools. The vehicle level applications are electronic power steering, electric vehicles, and so on. Advantages of brushless DC motors are increased reliability and efficiency, longer life, elimination of spark from the commutator, and noiseless operation, high speed range. The disadvantages are requires complex drive circuitry, requires additional sensors, higher cost, some designs require manual labor. I would like to conclude by saying, although brushless DC motors are more expensive, they have many advantages. Brushless DC motor does not provide brush or commutator particles or gas as byproducts of operation. Thank you.
Okay, do you know what are the material that produces permanent magnet? What are the metals or ferromagnetic material that produces permanent magnet? Electromagnet is produced by winding. So there is some rod kind of a thing on material, ferromagnetic material. We wound some kind of wire, we put some kind of electricity through that, and we produce electromagnet. But for permanent magnet, some special kind of material is used. And PMBLDC, PMBLDC, that is a permanent magnet BLDC. This is the game changer, and this is the most widely used motor in case of EV. So please find out what is the material that produces permanent magnet. In our discussion lecture slide, you will find that. So in the advantage disadvantage side, right side, there is a space. So there you write down what are the material used in case of PMBLDC. So by the time you are uploading this slides in Google Classroom, so that discussion should be there. Or you can prepare a separate slide also on material of PMBLDC. Fine.
Okay.
So that was a neat presentation. You have not gone too much into depth. You did not take the trouble of reading too much and all, but whatever you have presented, it is presented properly. So the question is, why have you not made a group? That is the question.
So I had grouped with Spooky, but at the last moment she changed.
Okay. So off the record, we will talk about it.
Yes.
But anyways, whenever some task is given to you, you should not be the person who is left alone in the class. So you are the only one person who could not find a teammate.
Yes.
That gives a different twist to the story. So don't be like that. Whenever some job is assigned, that's because when you will be joining companies, whenever some job is assigned to you, try to make it as soon as possible, because that really reduces the trouble for the person who is defining the job. So don't wait till the end, somebody will be assigned to you, or maybe you will be left alone and you will be doing that. So it actually puts you in a wrong light. That should not happen. Okay, so you are quite a famous person, you are friendly person, you are having a lot of friends. So as soon as it is told that make a group, so just talk to your classmates first. If not, then division B. If not, you can ask me, sir, if anybody is left, I can make group with. There is no harm asking me, and there is no harm forming a group with students of other divisions, because it's a elective, and students from all four divisions are doing it. So don't be left out. Don't be the
Yes.
last person to be presenting alone. In company work also, if you're asked to form a group whenever you'll be joining a job, uh, do form a group as soon as possible, because that shows your resourcefulness. If you are just left alone and alone you are presenting, that shows that you are not resourceful enough, or you are not active enough. Okay, that puts you in the wrong light. Don't be like that. Okay. So it is a
Yes.
good presentation. So here we finish the fourth presentation in the morning session. So Vaishnavi, you can sign off,
Yes.
and all of you